I really have to commend Square Enix. They've done it. They've found a way to screw up Final Fantasy VII. Not content with the original planet versus corporation setting and the slow reveal of the supernatural themes of the Ancients, Jenova, and the all-powerful Sephiroth, our heroes must now face off with destiny itself in a mad gamble to wrestle a new, limitless timeline from the Wardens of Fate. A timeline where Zack doesn't die, where Aeris could live, and Square Enix aren't bound by the world map breadcrumb trail laid out by the PS1 original. The Whispers, the Wardens of Fate, intrude on every scene of significance, tearing apart the fabric of everything we loved about the original game's storyline. Oh dear, oh dear. This bizarre and convoluted tripe screams of Tetsuya Nomura, the game's director, who blew the Final Fantasy VII movie Advent Children years ago, and who, with Kingdom Hearts, proved himself to be the master of over-complexity for the sheer sake of complexity. How do you take a story like Final Fantasy VII, a relatively simple tale, and write a new layer over the top about trying to avert fate? The original game had nothing to do with that. And you know what, I'm not even going to lay this all at Nomura's feet. If they were his ideas, it was Najima and Katase who should have put them in check. Who am I kidding? I'm sure they all had a hand in this meta and mind-boggling contrivance. They're all guilty. In an Edge magazine interview in 2003, Katase once said about Aeris' death, "In the real world, things are very different. You just need to look around you. Death comes suddenly. When you lose someone you loved very much, you feel this big, empty space and think, if I had known this was coming, I would have done things differently." These are the feelings I wanted to arouse in the player with Aeris' death. Feelings of reality, and not Hollywood. What the hell changed? The reason why the original game dealt with tragedy so well is because you couldn't change what had happened. Now Nomura and friends have opened the gateway to a world where everything can change. How ballsy do you have to be to add something like this? I don't know if it's risk-taking or just sheer ego to think you could improve on the original. It's not only disrespectful to the fans who enjoy the storyline, but it's also a betrayal, marketing this game as a remake. From now on, I'm calling it Final Fantasy VII 2, because as far as I can tell, the original PS1 game exists in a timeline within this game's world. So if this is a second timeline, then I guess it's a sequel, not a remake. If anyone can defend this story, they'll defend anything. I'd have rathered an ending where Cloud crashed his bike and burned on the Midgar Expressway. Man, it's frustrating as hell, because bloody hell did this game come so close to greatness at times. There's so many awesome moments, the Airbuster fight, the Shinra building guided tour, always just a fraction from greatness, until the last chapters where the story takes a nosedive into oblivion. For every grasp of greatness you get banal filler side quests that zap out any momentum from a sequence, an over-reliance on Sephiroth who is thrown at you all at once, the game culminating in a face-off with a famous villain that leaves him defeated and diminished for now, undermining his threat. Gone is the blood trail, the president's corpse silently greeting you, the hint at a supernatural and terrifying enemy, far more deadly than the greed and politics of the Shinra Electric Power Company. Instead, we get all of Sephiroth, and we even kick his ass, our heroes reaching Advent Children level heights of acrobatics and bone-crunching power. Wedge lives, Biggs lives, Jesse too probably, and the plate? Don't worry, everyone evacuated. So all that Final Fantasy VII tried to teach us about loss and that we can't change the past, only to learn to live and move on. Yeah, that's all irrelevant now. There are no more stakes. Your favourite characters are all coming back. Well, at least someone's coming back. My joy's been sucked out of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. If you'd like to hear more from me about the Final Fantasy VII Remake, please subscribe.